2. Welcome back at WNST, Tass in Baltimore, and WNST.net. You know, I've been showing everybody that we've got purple fever around here. I got the purple rope lights out. We're gonna decorate the place. It is a Festivus for the rest of us, but it's not the only story going on in Baltimore. We have a champion among us. Franchon Crews Dezurn will be boxing on the 11th, right around the time the Ravens, same time, same channel and all that stuff. She is here in Baltimore training. She'll be heading down to the Alamo Dome as part of Oscar De La Hoya's franchise of fighters and Golden Boy Promotions. First off, you're in Baltimore, Franchon. Good day to you. I know you're training. I know you're promoting the fight and getting ready. I feel like I'm visiting Ali up in the hills of Pennsylvania at this point, but a few days out on a fight, this is go time for you, just like it's go time for the Ravens, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Every time the Ravens play a significant game like this, it sends good energy my way.
Well, there's going to be energy, so I hope you got some purple together. Your background, I mean, a lot of folks are familiar with you in the boxing area, and listen, I've been covering boxing here for the better part of 35 years, from back in the era of Reggie Gross and going down to Michael's 8th Avenue and Sugar Ray Leonard. But the ladies' side of this is something unique. I've had some female fighters on going back 20 years when boxing kind of took off. Some thoughts about what got you interested? That's always my first question for any MMA fighter, any boxer, to say, what led you into the ring to decide to do this professionally?
So I am such a creative, and what's crazy, I just started boxing because I wanted to lose weight for singing. My mentor at the time said I needed to lose a couple pounds, and this was years ago. And I just went to the gym, and I've never looked back.
See, I do hot yoga. I just got back on the mat here for 2020, trying to, stay lean, mean, 51-year-old machine here. But, for you, picking this up at this point in your life, you're not 19, so the thoughts about doing this maybe when you were 19, or was this always something? My wife always wanted to be a race car driver. At some point, she'll make turns in Charlotte, but the fact that you would actually do this.
Well, I identify as 28 years old, and I've been doing this since I was 16 years old at an elite level. So a little bit about my background, other than being a 2-time unified world champion as a professional boxer, I'm a 12-year Team USA alumni. So my amateur background and representing Team USA in international competitions is very extensive.
So if this is all you've ever wanted to do then at this point?
I didn't want to box. I just wanted to be a singer, and boxing picked me. I didn't pick boxing.
Are you still singing? I hope the boxing hasn't hurt the singing, right?
No, it hasn't. It's taken over a lot of things, but boxing has also opened doors to have more exposure for my singing, and I'm also a self-taught fashion designer. So I'm doing everything. I'm just living my best life.
For you with boxing and training at this point in your life, and hey, listen, the design part of this and the singing part, you got the rest of your life to do that. This is a limited time offer for any athlete, right? How many more years to do this? What are the rest of the goals? And I would think that finding good fights is always the hardest part, I think, for any matchmaker. You've now started to work with Oscar De La Hoya this year. He was a guest on my show about many years ago, out in L.A. when he was having big fights out in Vegas. Having someone that's been down the road that knows the game, that knows the sport, that knows how to maximize revenue for you while you're in an earning period.
Yeah, well, not only has Oscar De La Hoya and the whole Golden Boy team been a great help and just, something to aspire towards, Bernard Hopkins has also served as a mentor to me, and he's also a partner in Golden Boy Promotions. So, I have a lot. He just retired 3 years ago at 53 or 52 years old, So if I wanted to take it longer, my skill set, I'm sure I could. But, I have a husband, and he's been so good to me. He's a professional boxer also, Glenn Dezurn Jr. I would like to start a family, but right now I'm at the peak of my career. In only 3 years, I won 2 belts. I'm, about to go defend my title for the second time. So I'm just riding until the wheels fall off. I'm focused on helping pushing women's boxing to the forefront along with my other female counterparts. But, right now, women's boxing is hot, and I'm striking it. I'm striking.
Why would you tell, if I had a 14-year-old daughter, what would convince me to tell my daughter to box?
Well, first of all, it's not, everybody looks at it as a barbaric sport, and it's, we're savage in the ring, but it taught me so many other things, like discipline. No shot to anybody else, but I'm not like a super party person. Even at my age, I, look and feel really young. I could still run 4 miles. It's a whole mental and physical therapy for me. And of course, I could punch people and get paid for it. So, instead of catching a charge, I can catch a check.
Franchon is here. She is the heavy-hitting diva. I want to get all the business together. She's going to be defending her WBC and WBA super middleweight world title on the 11th,
Yes.
right when the Ravens are doing their thing. She'll be down in San Antonio at the Alamo Dome. The fight is streamed live exclusively on DAZN. If you've seen the DAZN, you know what that is. I saw Marshawn falling out of a box full of Skittles.
Yes.
With that, right? So,
Here.
I pay attention to the internet, Franchon. So, tell me about the Alejandra Letire Jimenez. You were supposed to fight in September, right? There was some issues about the country and passports and visas and whatnot. We got all that handled. But, man, you're a few days out on a fight here. I'm sure a lot of tape, a lot of training. I'm sure at this point, getting ready.
Her ass. I'm ready to whoop her ass. Excuse my French. She used to be the WBC heavyweight champion and fought as high as 235 pounds. Kudos to her. But she came and started trying to bully me on the internet and all this stuff. And I'm like, hey, it's proper ways to get a fight. We can do this. It's nothing, But the difference between her and I, she wants a belt for losing weight. I want a belt for beating ass. So we're two different kind of people. We were supposed to fight in September, and, it led to my opponent being switched the day before my fight. So that was, very stressful. But I'm in a great mindset. I'm so up for it because a lot of people are counting me out because she's a heavyweight champ and she's this and that. But this has been just like a great camp for me. My mental condition is great. I'm just ready to prove the world why I'm the champion, prove to the world why I'm the champion.
Stepping up in weight, issues in doing that? Has there ever been a point in your life where you've dropped some weight or added some weight where it's affected you differently?
Well, this is my weight. She's coming down to me, so I'm comfortable. And as I said, in my amateur career, I fought middleweight, which is 165, and I've been very successful at light heavyweight, which is 178. I won a world silver medal, and that was the same time the Ravens won their last Super Bowl. Which year was that, 2016?
That was 14, but 13. 12 into 13. I'm sorry.
Okay, 12. 2012, I won my world silver medal. I'll always remember that because the Ravens won a Super Bowl. And then in 2016, I won a world bronze medal at light heavyweight. So I'm comfortable, and I think a lot of people kind of minimize my power, and I don't think a lot of people realize I'm really a solid big woman.
I can tell. I've seen you on the internet. Franchon Crews Dezurn from Virginia Beach, but residing and training here in Baltimore. You mentioned your husband, also a boxer. Family affair for you guys. Give everyone the Baltimore story because you've shouted out the Ravens. The Ravens are going to be playing at the same time you're going to be fighting on the 11th down at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio. I guess it can, we were one click away maybe at halftime or before the game or after the game to see him with Franchon's up to. But for you in Baltimore and Baltimore pride, this is a big time for Baltimore pride. I mean, I'm wearing purple right now. The whole city's, I got purple lights all over me. You know that.
Hey.
Give me the Ravens background for you and your love of Baltimore.
I've had the opportunity to do like predictions in one of the publications in Baltimore a few years. And like I said, I won my first 2012 was weird for me because I came up a little short for the Olympics, and that was the inauguration of women boxing into the Olympics. But I kept the faith, and I went and won a world silver medal, meaning I was the top two, best fighter in the whole world. And, the Ravens have been through so much, and this is like a time of resurgence, as our sports team and just other figures, they're really uplifting the city, and we need that, You
saying 2020 is going to be our year? Is that what you're saying? I mean, I hope 2020 is our year.
You know what? We already ended. We had another boxer from Baltimore that, closed the year out with a great win.
Tank.
And, I'm coming to set it off. So I'm bringing that Ravens energy, that Baltimore energy down to San Antonio, Texas.
No chance you and Tank are going to be sparring anytime soon.
Nah. My husband's my trading partner.
All right, well, listen, good luck to you. I want to send everybody out. The fight's on DAZN. You all know about the Ravens on the 11th. Make sure you're tipping a cap to a local fighter going down to San Antonio as part of a card. A little bit about Oscar and a little bit more about Bernard before I let you go, and what their role in this, how much time you may or may not spend with them, and knowing that at least the management part of this is being managed by boxers and not by crooks, which is what I remember back in the 70s and 80s,
Well, I'm self-managed, but as far as the promotional team, and Oscar, he's a busybody, but, every time I'm around him, he's always giving me positive energy, and he's giving me kudos, little advice. Bernard, I go up to Philly sometimes just to check in with him, and he's a wealth of knowledge because he's been through everything, self-management, fighting, promoting. So it's like, wow, I feel great, and especially him retiring at an older age, it doesn't make me feel rushed. You go to a point from just being physical and you start tapping into your mental. So having both of them and just the high things that they accomplished in boxing, it gives me motivation. Like, I want to be like a female version of them.
Anytime you talk about Philadelphia boxing, Joe Frazier comes up, and Joe used to do the show back in the day.
Yeah,
Mark Cram wrote a great book on Joe Frazier and about Philadelphia boxing, too, so I've had him on recently. Franchon, I'm going to let you get back into training, singing. Yeah, and you're not doing any designing you're designing to win the fight next week, and get your purple going.
Look, check it. I want to probably put something purple in my outfit. Every outfit that I've fought in, I've designed myself. I've designed for other boxers, and I make my fashion afterwards. So we're going to be lit. Just step out.
Is there going to be an 8 somewhere? Maybe a little design, a little shout out to Lamar for the speed.
Hey, I'm bringing it. Why not? I'm going to represent because he's the truth. LaMarvelous.
LaMarvelous, indeed. We hope so. 2 more games, and we're going to Miami. Franchon, good luck to you. We'll see you in San Antonio, okay?
All right, thank you.
There she goes, Franchon Crews Dezurn from Virginia Beach, but of Baltimore, really. She's purple through and through here, fighting locally in San Antonio, making the flight next week as the Ravens await AFC divisional play in the bye week around here. You can find me out on the bye at Toyota.com, audio of all 24 hours a day. I am the guy with the purple lights all over the studio and talking football, thinking football, heading down to Miami next week to set up Super Bowl trips. If you're interested in joining us, email me, nasty at WNST.net. Hotels, buses, tickets, parties, transportation, good food, nice people. It's going to be a good time. All we got to do is win 2 games. Come on, Lamar. We are WNST.net, AM 1570, and WNST Towson, Baltimore, and we never stop pimping the purple here at WNST.